Let me tell you all about it in just a second. First 30 seconds, a shout out right now for www.pastorpaulgold.com. That's www.pastorpaulgold.com. Gold has gone literally mainstream. You're seeing it everywhere, and the prices keep climbing. More Americans are turning to gold to protect their wealth. How do you take advantage of this? This is why, this is where Noble Gold Investment comes in. From rolling over your old 401k into a gold IRA or helping you purchase physical gold coins or gold bars and deliver them to your home or storing them in a secured vault. Guys, it's very simple, it's safe, it's stress-free. Simply do this. Click on that link below the video. Go to www.pastorpaulgold.com. That's www.pastorpaulgold.com. Or call them on the phone at 877-646-5347. You'll be glad that you did.
Typhoon Halong devastated remote western Alaskan villages, leaving thousands unable to return home for at least 18 months. Alaskan Governor Mike Dunleavy has warned. Governor Dunleavy requested a major disaster declaration from U.S. President Donald Trump to secure federal funding for the lengthy recovery. The typhoon brought 100-mile-per-hour winds and storm surges up to 8 feet above high tide, destroying homes, roads, and communications in several villages. About 90% of the structures in Kipnuk and a third in another village were lost, leaving power outages and water shortages. More than 1,500 residents were evacuated to larger cities, many facing extended displacement through winter. The approaching Arctic winter poses additional challenges, with some communities potentially uninhabitable during the cold months. The Alaska National Guard airlifted over 600 people, while shelters in Bethel and Anchorage and other cities quickly filled. Alaska Senators Dan Sullivan and Lisa Murkowski urged federal aid to restore housing, utilities, and heating fuel before the winter, the USA Today has reported. One woman died in the storms, and 2 others still remain missing. Recovery efforts are expected to be long due to the extensive destruction and the harsh environmental conditions. Human remains found in a shallow grave at an abandoned Philadelphia school are believed to be 23-year-old Kada Scott, who went missing 2 weeks ago. Police said the medical examiner will confirm the identity and determine the cause of death. The remains were discovered in a wooded area after a, quote, very specific anonymous tip led officers to search that site. Earlier in the week, police had recovered items belonging to Scott, including a cell phone case, an iPad case, glasses, and a card with her name. Scott was last seen on October the 4th, leaving for work at a nearby nursing home, but did not complete her shift. Authorities said Scott had reported being harassed via phone in the days before her disappearance. Keon King, who was 21 years old, has now been charged with kidnapping in connection to Scott's disappearance, and is believed to have been the last person in contact with her, ABC News has reported. Police recovered King's vehicle, a 1999 metallic gold Toyota Camry, after receiving public tips. The mayor and the police have all expressed support for Scott's family during this difficult time, and investigators remain committed to uncovering the truth and ensuring that justice is served. During a heated White House meeting, President Donald Trump warned Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky that Ukraine would be, quote, destroyed if it refused to accept Russia's peace terms. The discussion reportedly escalated into shouting, with President Trump tossing aside maps of Ukraine's front lines that President Zelensky had brought to demonstrate the situation on the ground. Zelensky traveled to Washington seeking additional U.S. support, including long-range Tomahawk missiles, in exchange for thousands of Ukrainian-made drones. But President Trump rejected the request, calling it a dangerous escalation. Instead, Trump pressed for a ceasefire that would freeze the front lines as they stand, effectively locking in Russia's territorial gains. He also argued Ukraine to surrender the entire Donbass region as part of a settlement, arguing that it would end the war quickly. Zelensky pushed back, insisting that Putin had no real interest in peace and that greater pressure on Moscow was needed. Despite the tense exchange, both leaders later described the meeting as, quote, positive, with Zelensky saying Trump had an opportunity to help end the war, the U.S. Sun has reported. European officials expressed alarm over President Trump's tone and perceived alignment with Russian interest, particularly after his recent phone call with Putin and plans for an in-person summit in Hungary. As Trump calls for rapid ceasefire, Russia has intensified its bombardments across multiple Ukrainian regions, targeting civilians and infrastructure. Zelensky vowed that Ukraine would not surrender more land and renewed his appeal for Western weapons, saying his nation still seeks peace, but at the no cost of its sovereignty.
The world is experiencing an alarming series of apocalyptic events, historic weather disasters, earthquakes, droughts, wildfires, impending economic collapse, the rise of AI. In Revelation 9/11, Pastor Paul Begley and Pulitzer-nominated journalist Troy Anderson investigate if these are the true signs of the end times. Is this the final meeting of current events and prophecy referred to in the Bible? Revelation 9/11. Order it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Target.com.